All right, y'all. We are live on this beautiful Monday morning. May God bless everybody in the name of Jesus, Yeshua the Messiah. I pray everybody watching is very blessed. As the title of the video says, live, Bitcoin and crypto, here we go. This is the last chance. Make sure to smash up the likes, guys. Make sure to smash up the likes. If we can get 1,000 likes in the first half hour, we'll be giving away $1,000. Also, today or tomorrow or the next day, we are going to be doing a giveaway courtesy of BLOFIN. We will be giving away $500. If you want to be eligible for the giveaway, sign up to BLOFIN using my link. You don't have to deposit anything. If you win, well, then you get $100 to trade with, and we'll have 5 winners this week. So if you don't want to be left in the dust, click the link for BLOFIN in the description of the video. Alright, as you guys can see, the Bitcoin price is getting a little bit of a bounce, and we have officially made our first local higher high. We have made our first local higher high, getting a bounce right from the level that we gave in the Casper Crew VIP Discord. We are currently bouncing from our secret level at 111,965.8. Shout out to the Casper Crew, where we gave the juicy long setup from $100,000, where we gave the juicy long setup from $105,000, and where most recently we have given that juicy long setup from $112,000. Now the question is, what is going to happen here? Because there's no secret that this is such an important level. It literally has the ability to change the course of this crypto bull run. Got to give a major shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to JI. The emoji doesn't show on my streaming software. Major shout out to Crypto Coons. Major shout out to Michuan, who says my haircut looks nice. Thank you. It does look nice, doesn't it? Looks pretty dang nice. It's a new style right here. You know, people say I'm an influencer. If that's true, I better see everybody out there in crypto who trades with rocking this haircut, alright? Alright, otherwise I'm just a guy on YouTube. I ain't no influencer, man. People try to give me too much clout. Shout out to Pamala's honest opinions. Seriously, thank you so much for the information you share regularly. Well, God bless. Shout out to CC. Shout out to JB Estrada. Shout out to Patrick Schunor. Morning. Shout out to Lasers Go Pew Pew. Shout out to Flippa Frank. Shout out to Martin Christiansen and Expert Rotary. Shout out to Duality C and McCall 20. Why didn't we pump? What do you mean, why didn't we pump? What do you mean? You don't consider this a massive pump? Let's see. We are up 2.72%. Man, I don't know. That's a pump. That's a pretty good pump in my opinion. Shout out to Mark K. Yo, bros. Good morning. El Punto Verde. Shout out to Leviathan. Monday dump to Slingshot. I like that idea. Where's Dolores? She's around. She's on a cigarette break. She'll be back. Alright, shout out to Mr. Dugum. I see you, bro. God bless you, man. Shout out to Trade Smart by Jewel Smith 26. Bitcoin is really not looking good. We'll talk about it. We gotta shout out Irk 10. He says, bruh, nothing will happen. There's a good chance you're right. Shout out to John Foster Crypto. Shout out to HFG. Shout out to Mark Spix, who says we are heading back to all-time highs, question mark. We gotta. Make sure to smash the likes, guys. Also, make sure to check out WEEX. Make sure to check out BLOFIN. Make sure to check out KCEX and ANTARCTIC. Make sure to check out Klein Funding if you know how to trade with darn money and you want a discount on a crypto prop firm account. Links in the pinned comment, links in the description. Also, if you want to join the community where we give the setups in advance, you can go to jasoncaspertrading.com and click this juicy link right here. Now, let's pop into the charts. We'll start with Bitcoin. We'll head over to the alts afterwards. All right. First of all, we need to understand the importance of what has just transpired. Thing number one is this. We have officially confirmed a red dot on the weekly time frame. You can see right here, weekly market Cipher B, red dot, aka El Punto Rojo. The bearish Mexican gangster, big and fat. Kind of reminds me of Al Capone, you know? He smokes those cigars, eats a lot of cheeseburgers. Now, El Punto Rojo has reared his ugly head and confirmed here on the chart. Not only has El Punto Rojo confirmed, but look at this, guys. As the price is making higher highs, breaking out of the range, market Cipher B is making lower highs with the momentum and the money flow, giving us the dreaded and scary Sam Bankman-Fried upside down bearish man boob pattern. As the price is getting higher and higher, SBF, the man breasts, getting lower, red pepperoni nipples to the downside. Even we can see if we zoom in on the face, right? Look at the direction of the smirk, the eyes, even the hair, all right? Getting down. Now, we take this. This is very important, okay? Look, if you want to know how to trade, pay attention to this. We take the man boobs, we put them onto the chart, we stretch them out, and we can see the resemblance is striking, all right? Now, recently in the New England Journal of Medicine, I just read an article about this condition called gynecomasticus crooked. It's a Latin term that means crooked man breasts. Historically, this condition has led to the top of Bitcoin, period. All right? We can see at the all-time high, last cycle, what happened. We had a bad case of crookedness right here. Bad case. Now, is there a chance that we get out of the woods with this bad case that we've got here? Yes. We're going to talk about what needs to happen for more upside. But we need to be aware of this, because to ignore a high time frame signal, in my opinion, is redonkulous. We have to be aware, because the high time frames are king. Now, remember what happened last time we actually confirmed this bearish medical condition. It was back in June. And in June, what did we do? We had a set of criteria. We came to these charts and we said, okay, we acknowledge the bearishness. We acknowledge this doesn't look good. But we also acknowledge that El Punto Rojo is not the only guy here. All right? There's also his arch nemesis, El Punto Verde. Here's a picture of him. All right? Now, if people don't understand all the, the Mexican gangs and all this, it can be complicated, right? But we can distill it down to two very simple things: El Punto Rojo y El Punto Verde. All right. Now, El Punto Verde, as you can see, is in much better cardiovascular condition than El Punto Rojo. He takes care of his health. You know why? Because he goes on that treadmill every day. Now look at this. El Punto Verde is actually the one who saved us from the top of that bull market and gave us another push to break out of the range here. Okay? And what's happening right now, guys, as we speak, is Bitcoin has gotten a retracement after an objectively strong breakout. Let's be clear. This candle that we confirmed the first week of July, was it the second week or the first week? I don't remember. Strong breakout, strong weekly candle close above the range. What's happening right now is we are getting a back test of this key zone. All right, it is basically the back test of these highs and the value area high of this range. So long as the Bitcoin price is not going to be coming down in here, this is objectively speaking a bullish chart. And so now we zoom into the lower time frames to see, okay, what do we need to see in order for us to bounce? All right. Remember, the last time we saw this happen was right here. El Punto Rojo, he tried to push us down, but he was unable to. And we got the next move to the upside. All right, and what did we do? What did we do in the Casper crew? Well, we were prepared for key support right around 100,000. We saw we were getting a bounce. We saw we got a little change in market structure. We said, this is the opportunity, make it or break it. We take the trade. We lock the profits, baby. So here we are once again in the same kind of scenario that we were in back in June, where we understand, okay, El Punto Rojo's here, but El Punto Verde, he may be coming to save us. Now, I want to show you something very important about this whole structure here. All right, this structure, in my opinion, is very bullish. And let me show you the pattern, the bullish pattern that we see here. All right, I'm going to show you on the weekly time frame a bullish pattern that we're currently forming right now on the lower time frames, okay, which is this. The bottom of a downtrend is marked by a bullish divergence, all right, the uneven butt cheek pattern, a juicy left butt cheek full of gravy, full fat yogurt with the cream on the top, all right, just pure cream in that left cheek. And then by the time you get to the right cheek, fat-free Greek yogurt with no cream. All right, bullish divergence. Then what happens is we change the market structure, right? This was our last lower high in the downtrend, lower low. Now all of a sudden we're making a higher high, all right? We've made a higher high, we've officially changed the trend, and then we come for a retracement. When we get that retracement, there's going to be on market Cipher B another momentum wave that prints, that continues the direction. We should be able to draw a trend line to that third momentum wave. And that's called a trigger wave. That gives us our next big push to the upside. All right, so we make another higher high. Then you make another higher low. Now what starts to happen is the bottom is marked by the uneven butt cheeks. The second leg up is marked by continued direction. And then every leg up from that point is marked by the momentum waves getting lower as the price continues to trade on a trend line making higher lows. All right. So you can see here we had this is called a hidden bullish divergence, by the way. It's not like a regular bullish divergence. Hidden bullish divergence is the price is making higher lows in an uptrend and the butt cheeks are looking like this. All right. Now, you can see we had one hidden bullish divergence here. We had another one right here in April. That April hidden bullish divergence is why I was so bullish back in April, which is why I was calling for us to bounce from the trend line, not only bounce from the trend line, but see new all-time highs, as can be documented on my YouTube channel 3 months ago on April 21st when we were bouncing from this trend line and Bitcoin confirms a historic signal, which was, of course, that hidden weekly bullish divergence. Okay, now look at this, because this is very important. We're going to go to our trading view here, and we're going to now go to our daily time frame. All right, we're going to look at what's happened since April. What has happened since April on our daily time frame? Let's take a look. So, going back to April, what happens? Remember, this was key support right here. This was the whole entire bull market trend line. We tapped that trend line with a bullish divergence. All right, the uneven butt cheek pattern on the daily time frame. Then we break market structure. We make a higher high. Then what happens is we make that higher low, and we see, if we take our trend line here, that we have a momentum wave that lines up with the trend. Okay, this was the $100,000 trade. This is, I know this is hindsight analysis now, but you guys have to understand, everything I'm walking you through, we were calling it as it was happening in the moment, all right? The bounce from $100,000 is a setup I took, okay? I told the community I'm long, all right? The bounce from the 70s, looking for the new highs, this is not hindsight analysis now. This is me in the moment. Okay, we're getting the bounce, we have the confirmations, we're looking for the move, okay? So I know I'm going through hindsight now because I'm trying to illustrate a point to you, because we're about to do in the moment analysis here. Now, look at this. We get our first trigger wave, and now what's happening is we've actually made another higher high. We've broken out of key resistance, and now there's a real potential here that we are going to see a trigger wave coming down lower than this one here, giving us that next continuation pattern. And not only are we going to see that, but we're going to see that as we come to backtest a major support resistance flip. All right, a major support resistance flip. What is the support resistance flip? It is this. We have the value area high of the previous range. What does this mean? What does this value area high mean? This means that for the last 8 months, since Trump wins the election, the market participants have said anything above $109,000 Bitcoin is considered overpriced. It's considered overpriced. We come up, overpriced, we get a correction. We come up, overpriced, we get a correction. Now that we've broken out of this range, we've confirmed 3 weekly candles above it. This is now the market telling us, okay, you know what? Bitcoin actually is worth this price. And what's happening now is we're getting a retest. Why do they call it a retest? What are they testing? We're testing now to see, what does the market actually believe about Bitcoin? Do we really believe it's worth over $109,000? If we believe it truly, then what used to be considered overvalued will now be considered undervalued. And we're going to see a lot of buying step in here. And we're going to see the market participants defend this price of between $109,000 to $112,000. Because now the sentiment has switched from this is expensive Bitcoin to this is cheap Bitcoin. That's why when you have a level of resistance, once you come above that level, when you come back down, it's no longer resistance, it acts as support. We're retesting now. The market has gotten the breakout, but we've never really tested it for sure, right? We don't really know yet. We're like, really? Is this real? Is this real life? You know? It's like in high school when I asked out that really hot girl. She said, yeah. And then later on, I asked her, hey, were you legit? She's like, no, Jason. I wasn't really legit. I just didn't want to embarrass you in front of all those people. So she was being nice about it. But then she said, Jay, there's no way. Come on, man. I'm way out of your league. And she rejected me. You know? Now, if I had been a cool kid, maybe she would have said, yeah, Jay, I'm legit. We would have lived happily ever after. Got a nice house, white picket fence, a nice little pool with a dog, and some kids. While I work my butt off at a 9 to 5 that I hate. Working my way up to management at some kind of McDonald's restaurant. And, until I retire. Right? The American dream. So this is what's happening right now. We're coming back to backtest that level. And here's the thing. Where are we actually bouncing from? We are bouncing from the secret level given in the Casper Crew VIP Discord at 111.965.8. All right, look at this. Now, why was this a key level given in the Casper Crew? It is because this is simply just the backtest of these highs. All right? We are coming right now to the beginning of that backtest area. This is one of the places where we would expect a bounce from. We're getting a bounce. The market right now is testing. Is this cheap Bitcoin or not? Now remember, it's a zone. It's not a level. It's a zone. And so technically speaking, we can come down a bit lower here and still have a valid backtest. So here's what needs to happen for higher prices. We cannot be closing daily candles below this box. The second thing that needs to happen is we need to see a bounce, which we are seeing now, but I'm open to more downside. I'm absolutely open to more downside. And we need to see a green dot print on market Cipher B. And we need to see the momentum wave, which it already technically is from the green dot, coming lower. Like very slightly, it's already there. If we see a green dot confirmed here with a lower momentum wave, that means it's very probable that the bottom has come in here. We've gotten a breakout and a retest, and we're going to shoot for $130,000 Bitcoin. Okay? So what needs to happen right now for El Punto Rojo to be defeated by El Punto Verde? Now, we need to see, again, price cannot lose the value area high of this range. Because if it does, that means the market was like, woohoo, man, Bitcoin is worth a lot. And then they're like, is it really worth a lot? No. Nah, actually, it's not really worth a lot. It's not worth that much. All right? So if we lose that box, very bad sign. But if we hold the box, we get a green dot, we see that bounce, that is very good. And so this is really what needs to happen here. Now we zoom into even a lower time frame. And remember, what do we want to see also with a hidden bullish divergence? Because hidden bullish divergences, they don't necessarily mean that much unless there are regular bullish divergences on the lower time frames. Okay, we go back to the example of the weekly here. Remember, why was I so bullish in April? Here, why so bullish? Yes, we had the hidden divergence. Momentum was getting lower as price getting higher, but it's because as we came down to the lower time frames, we were seeing regular bullish divergences, while the high time frames were printing a hidden bullish divergence. The lower time frames were printing regular bullish divergence. This is what you want to see. It's called the hidden regular strategy. All right, you see a hidden bullish divergence on a high time frame. You zoom in, you see a regular bullish divergence. All right, it's the symmetry that you're looking for. You know, it's the symmetry. And so as we zoom in now to like our 4 hour, what are we potentially seeing here? Because this is very crucial. Crucial, right? We're getting the back test of the highs. Let's see here. Hang on 1 second. Look, I don't really know how to use a computer. This is not financial advice. We're getting the back test of the highs. We know we have a hidden bullish divergence on our daily. How's the 4 hour looking, right? Well, right now, if we zoom in closely, we can see, technically speaking, we do have a bullish divergence on our 4 hour, right? We see that direction here. But we also see that, well, this low happened over a weekend, and you can never really trust those weekend lows, right? So we do need to be open for just basically coming back to get all this again. Understanding that it's a zone. So if we come back into the box, we will see now something like this, all right? What is this? This is another drive of bullish divergence where we would have 1, 2, 3 waves of divergence here, all right? 3 butt cheeks. This is called a trichecular formation. It's very technical stuff, all right? This is actually the stuff that ICT didn't show you, all right? It's the secrets that ICT didn't even want you to know, all right? You sat through 35 months of his videos. He didn't even teach you about trichecular formations. A trichecular formation is basically where you have an uneven butt cheek to start. Then we get a stop hunt into a key zone of support. And then the butt cheek appears again here, giving us the trichecular formation. And here's the thing. People ask, why didn't this happen, Jay? I mean, isn't this first butt cheek enough? Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. The problem with this is that a lot of times these butt cheeks, they look like 2, but they're actually 1. The way you can tell is there's no butthole. All right? It's called pseudo-buttholus, actually, in the Latin. I just read an article about this also in the New England Journal of Medicine. Pseudo-buttholus is a Latin term for fake butthole. All right? So with no butthole, no bounce, baby. That's what they say. So you come back down. This time, the butt crack measures a little bit more. We got 3 days and 16 hours of crack. All right, it's a true bender. All right, it's like some straight up Hunter Biden stuff. All right, 3 days of crack. You're coming back down. You're seeing that next drive of bullish divergence. That's where you get the real move. Now, look at this. You know, when we did make that bottom in April, what did we see? We saw a trichecular formation. Notice the money flow was not getting higher until that trichecular formation appeared on the chart. In the same way, right now, you can see that, technically speaking, the money flow was getting lower, and if we do print a trichecular formation down here, with Hunter Biden levels of crack, we will see the money flow getting higher, okay? We will see that money flow getting higher, and that could be our ticket to a bounce, okay? So we've got our very clear lines in the sand here. We've got our very clear lines in the sand, all right? We've gone from Mexican gangster to a straight up Brit. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the live stream. Hope everyone's having a great day. That's what we're looking for. And honestly, am I bullish on Bitcoin? Absolutely. Because last August was the month of the bounce, all right? Last August, we got the bounce from the level right down here. Arnold, he said we get the pump in August. Boom. All right. Year before that, August was the bottom. We got the pump heading into a bullish fall. Boom! All right. I'm still leaning towards the Fed's going to cut rates in the fall, which is going to just give us our perfect storm of one more big pump. So right now, line in the sand, we cannot lose 109 Bitcoin. We can't lose the box. We're looking for hidden bullish divergences, triangular formations. We're looking for Hunter Biden levels of crack. And that's gonna be our ticket out. All right, our ticket back across the border. El Punto Verde will come and save us and smuggle us in his backpack. It'll all be good. Okay, now that leads us to our you know, what's the bearish scenario? I gave you a bullish scenario. Bearish scenario is we lose the level. Boom. Bitcoin's over, goes to zero. The end. All right. That was so easy. It took me so long to give the bullish scenario. Now let's check out Ethereum. Ethereum, baby. Oh my goodness. Okay, so here's the deal. Here's the deal. I have to say that I am still bullish on Ethereum. Why? Why? We got to give a major shout out to Traders Reality for a $100 super chat. Actually, a £100 super chat. Shout out to Tino. Yo, Tino, what's going on, bro? God bless you, man. God bless you, bro. He says, checking in, my brother. Been a while, man. Yeah, bro, it's been a while. We should, I'll hit you up, bro. Maybe we could, get something rolling, man. But I hope all is well, man. God bless you. God bless your family, bro. Thanks for all the awesome content, guys. And if you're not subscribed to Tino from Traders Reality, you are missing out. Because this dude, excuse me. This dude, he's been in this game for so long. He's the kind of guy, first of all, he has his own trading system. And he's just been in the markets for so long. He has that market intuition, man. All right, an amazing trader. He's like light years ahead of me as a trader. Go check him out, man. You're not going to be disappointed. Shout out to Juan for the super chat. What about the 12 hour and 8 hours looking good? Have a look at the pump coin. Yeah, 12 hour and 8 hour is looking good. Like, that's the thing. I don't even need to go to the 12 and 8 hour. For me, it's all about that daily right now. All right, daily is what I'm looking at. And for my man Juan, he wants to look at pump coin. Is there any more data here? Man, this is so tough for me because there's really not a lot of data here. I mean, if anything, we do have a nice low. We've taken the liquidity. We've made a higher high. We've made a higher low. Probably bouncing from the 786. We're bouncing from support. It looks good. I mean, it looks good. So, you know, I wish we could, you know, we've already started to get a move here. The 4 hour money flow looks really good here. It looks really good on the low time frames, I gotta be honest. Bullish divergence at the low. Money flow getting higher. Green dot printing. Looks like we're trying to break this resistance. Let's just look at some risk reward. Obviously, we're super late on our entry. Let's be honest. We're longing resistance if we get in now. But assuming we come back to the high, it's a 4-to-1. It's not the best. It's not the worst. Assuming we actually break out of this, you know, then who knows what could happen, right? But right now, it's a 4-to-1 risk reward. If you get in now, 4 times more upside than downside. And things do look good for more upside, but you have to acknowledge we're at resistance. So the only like good entry we could have here is we come up to our support resistance flip right here. We get a back test of our support resistance flip right here. And then we see the bounce. And when we see that bounce, that can give us a much better risk to reward. Where we come to back test value area high, that could give us like a 10-to-1. But even as it stands right now, it's not the worst. All right, let's check out ETH. Thank you for the super chat, by the way. So let's just, again, the context on ETH here. Monthly green dot confirmed. Monthly candle confirmed above the trend line. This, I don't think that, you know, we're day traders. We get lost in these low time frames. This candle close on the monthly is very strong. Very strong candle close on the monthly above a 4-year resistance. Green dot market cipher B under the zero line. Very powerful signal. Historic. I've gone through many times how amazingly big this is. All right, money flow crossing on the weekly. That's massive. Daily time frame. Money flow still curving back up right now. We come to our 4 hour. We're starting to see bullish divergences here. All right, even on the 4 hour time frame, we're seeing big, massive bottoms. We're also coming down to a very important zone of support for ETH, which is the point of control of the range. Did we tap it? We front run. Okay, we front run. What does this mean? This means, guys, okay, it's the same as Bitcoin. We lose 3,300. Bad. We hold 3,300. Good. Right now for ETH, we have a very clear dividing line. This zone right here between the trend line and the point of control of the range at 3,300. If we reclaim this trend line, guys, this is what's known as a breakout and a retest. Remember, what are we retesting? We're testing, are we really breaking out of this trend line or no? Last time the answer was no. All right. This time, I feel like the answer could very well be yes, based on our bottomed out momentum on the high time frames. And so if we start to reclaim this trend line, we close the daily candle above, in my opinion, that's a bullish sign. We're probably going to get sucked up to 4,000 and beyond. All right. Now, one scenario, just like Bitcoin, where, again, weekend lows can't be trusted. So we take the low again, but then it's the same deal. If we reclaim that trend line, that's very bullish. And even more so, if we lose that trend line, if we lose the POC, and then come back up above it, right? We lose this POC, we come back above it, that in and of itself is a bullish backtest, right? Which means if we are now trading above here, after testing this, we have double retest. Not only are we testing, are we breaking out of the trend line, but we're testing this high volume node to see, yeah, most market participants consider what used to be fair as fair price could be. They're now considering this cheap, all right? When you get a backtest of a high volume node and you see a bounce or rejection, this is the market telling you what used to be considered fair price, meaning, you know, this is as fair price could be. Now it's considered low price because we're here again and people are like, dang, if only I could get in at 3,300 again. And they're like, here we are, let's go. Right? Then based on my fib targets, I say we're coming up to 5,500. This monthly momentum on ETH, guys, I really think people are not, they're not taking it seriously. And I could be totally wrong, because this has never happened before. But if I was a betting man, and I am, I would say that this confirmed June candle is the most bullish signal we've ever seen on Ethereum during a bull run. Ever. By far. When Bitcoin is at new all-time highs, holding above the previous cycle high, and ETH is printing bottomed out momentum on the monthly, while consolidating in a massive 4-year triangle, while confirming a monthly candle above 4-year resistance, while the weekly money flow is crossing from the purple into the blue, I'm sorry, man. But for me, I'd rather bet on the side of a big pump. And I'd rather be wrong and say I'm trusting my indicator, which is, on these high time frames, it has only let me down once, and that was for Cardano. I thought I got the bottom of Cardano, but that thing kept dipping forever. But in hindsight, I could see that maybe I was being a little wishful. These high time frame market ciphers, man, they don't let me down, all right? These are the kind of things that make me post videos very bold. There have been very few times in my life where I've been very bold to say, I'm bullish or I'm bearish, all right? The only times I've ever publicly said, I'm calling for much higher, this is super bullish, or when market cipher B on the high time frames gave me the signal. It happened back, I think it was the summer of 2024. I put $500,000 on a Bitcoin long. I said I just put $500,000 on a Bitcoin long. I'm convicted market cipher B don't lie. And then the last time was April, where I saw these high time frame signals. I'm like, look, market cipher B don't lie on these high time frames, baby. We're gonna pump. So this thing for ETH right here, I feel the same kind of conviction, all right? We got to give a major shout to Quiles. You and Tino from Pizzo Reality go to Mickey D's. Are you talking about that time me and Carl from the Moon went to McDonald's in his Maserati?
Hello, I would like to get a Big Mac meal.
Yeah, so anyway, I have to say, I can't get bearish here for Bitcoin. I can't get bearish here for ETH. The only way I can get bearish on any of these assets, guys, is if the market structure itself flips bearish. So for ETH, it's the loss of 3,300. For Bitcoin, it's the loss of, let's just say, 109-ish. But until we do that, I'd say there's more bullish factors on the chart than bearish. And, you know, and just a quick disclaimer, I'm very much so invested in Ethereum. It's my second biggest holding besides Bitcoin. And I'm actually looking to make quite a bit of money in ETH, Cardano, and Solana, Chainlink, AVAX. Those are pretty much my biggest holdings here. And so I am emotionally invested in the price of these assets. I really am. Because if they pump, that means actual things for me in real life, right? Actual purchases and plans I can make in life, okay? So I am emotionally invested here. So please bear in mind as I'm giving you my bullish scenarios, I do want these things to happen, and I have money on the line, all right? Make sure to smash up the likes. Major shout out to Army Piper. Bro, love that video. God bless you, Army Piper. All right, guys, we are going to be going over to the Casper Crew VIP Discord at jasoncaspertrading.com to do the VIP live stream where we are going to be looking for our next juicy Bitcoin and maybe Ethereum entry, depending on how much time we have. So head on over to the VIP Discord, and we'll see you guys there. God bless everyone in Jesus' name. Peace.